Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this week's webinar. This week, we've got a very special guest in Alina, and today's topic is going to be how to grow your accounting firm with paid ads. So we've done two marketing webinars in the last 2 months. The first one, if you remember, was with Yasser. He spoke about SEO. And that's available on YouTube and also on our Taxstar page where you can watch a recording. We then had previous marketing manager at 𝗫𝗁, so he did a really great marketing webinar on how to market your firm, and that, again, that's also available in the Taxstar LinkedIn page. Today we've got paid ads. So we've spoken about SEO, we've spoken about marketing. Paid ads is where you got everything right, and now you're ready to supercharge your leads to come in. And that's where Alina will give us some of her expertise and advice on how that works. Now, I've worked with Alina at Alpha Pro Partners. She did a really great job for us. We're working with her right now on for Taxstar. So if you see my videos on Instagram, that's me. I had to do some videos, and Alina's pushing it out. So we're doing that. And she's helped us a lot in other platforms as well. So not just Meta, but also on LinkedIn and also on Google. So I want to share my expertise with the crowd, and hopefully you can reach out to Alina afterwards and see she can give you some advice and maybe work with her as well. I've known Alina for, I think, 4 years now. So we met at the EOA program, and we've worked with her ever since. So Alina, do you want to just give us a quick introduction about your background and what you've done?
Sure.
So yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the nice intro, Rehan. By the way, guys, Rehan is also a Rockstar client who actually takes feedback on board and really makes so many changes to his marketing and sales ecosystem to make ads work. So I appreciate him for that. A little bit about me. So I'm the owner of Digitalina. It's a performance marketing agency. We largely do Meta ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube, TikTok, etc. as well. Most of our clients, I'd say, are UAE based, but some abroad as well, in the States and in the UK. And I have sort of been in marketing and advertising, I think on the agency side, content side, for about, I don't even know, 12 plus years now. So yeah, that's me. We've worked with about 80 plus businesses in the UAE. And I like training, I like teaching and hosting workshops. So happy to help you guys today. And please feel free to say hi in the comments and ask me questions today.
Thank you very much for that. Just to give you a quick introduction about myself. So I'm Rehan. I'm the co-founder of Taxstar. We are a UAE-based tax technology company, and our first product is automating corporation tax with AI. I'm also the host of the Alphapreneurs podcast, which Naeem, your husband, pushed me to do. So I got the advice from Alina on doing that. I'll just give you a quick, before we get into the webinar on paid ads, give you a quick introduction of Taxstar. So we are a tax technology company. We have our first product, which is the corporation tax product. So we help SMEs automate that process using our AI-powered tax calculator. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to move you away from spreadsheets and manual processes so you can put all of your information and calculation using Taxstar. And what that allows you to do is future-proof yourself in terms of time. So if you have an audit later on down the line, you have a single source of truth for all of your information that you need to produce. We also have the ability where you can download your tax return in PDF. In the FTA portal, you cannot do that currently. And we also integrate with Xero, QuickBooks, and Wafik, so you can pull in your TB automatically, and then it goes through the steps of the calculation as well. We also have another product, a sub-product within Taxstar, and that's the financial statements production. So not sure if you know, but if your revenues are more than 50 million, or if you are qualifying free zone, you have to produce audited financial statements. Everyone else has to produce IFRS financial statements, which means that if you've never produced financial statements before, this is the first time you need to do it. doesn't need to be audited, but it needs to be IFRS compliant. So we have that template in there for you so you can use for your submissions, because you need to submit that with the FTA. And then finally, our other product or feature is document expiry reminders. From the 1st of April 2025, if your documents are expired in your FTA portal, your trade license, your Emirates ID, your passport copy, if you don't update it in the FTA portal within 20 working days, you get a 5,000 dirham penalty. So what we've done is you're able to now upload it into Taxstar, and then we give you reminders when they're due, so you can update your FTA portal as well. Just so you know, we will be having Q&A at the end. So any questions that you have, feel free to put it into the comment section, and Alina will, myself and Alina will answer those questions. And yeah, that's my plug on Taxstar. Alina, over to you.
Thank you. You can go to the next slide. All right, guys. So I just want to give you a bit of background on me, which I think I have now anyway, I think in the intro with Rehan. So I think we can go to the next slide here. You guys know enough about me. In terms of what we're going to be covering today, I have around 30 minutes, and I typically do about 3-hour workshops. So this was a mission for me to try to condense my knowledge into 30 minutes. But I want to talk about the top 5 mistakes that I see business owners doing, and I will tailor this to accountants or you guys in general. So your 5 rules for success. We'll touch on Google, Meta, and LinkedIn, which are your 3 main platforms. And then what my closing recommendation or guidance is for you guys. We'll go through that as well. All right, I think you can go to the next slide. Okay, actually, before we start over here, anyone who is active in the chat, can you just let me know if you are a business owner or if you are an accountant or a marketer, just so I get a bit of a sense, and also whether you have done ads before or not. That'll just help me gauge. Rehan, am I able to see the answers in the chat? Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, you can see it here, but I'll read it out to you as and when they come.
Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, you guys can type that in there, and that'd be good for me to get a gauge on that. All right, but let's get started then. 5 rules for success, where most business owners burn money. We can go to the next slide. Okay, rule number 1. It may sound basic to some of you, but the number of accounts that I have audited in the UAE, whether it's for B2B or for B2C, where they have hired a marketing agency or a freelancer, and the campaigns are set up to optimize for clicks. So to show a lot of traffic to the website, just to build awareness, which is fine, but you're not getting anything tangible out of it at the end of the day. If you've spent 5,000 dirhams, I can't do anything with, you know, great, I got 50,000 clicks. Great, what do I do with that? It doesn't equate to people I can contact or deals I can close. So please make sure that your campaigns are set to lead. And there's a 2-pronged approach to lead gen, which is what I love about it, is that you can immediately contact them to try to, of course, build a relationship and close, but you're also building a database for later on, for your email marketing, for WhatsApp marketing, for just reaching out and retargeting later on. So definitely do that. Make sure that whichever marketer you are using, they are not driving your ads to a generic, just to your homepage, because that is going to fail. If you have ads and it just goes to your company website, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but someone goes to a homepage and they don't know what to do. You have to guide the customer journey. There's like 100 buttons on your homepage. It needs to drive to a custom-built sales page or a landing page where people can only do one thing, and that is fill in a form or contact you in some way. All right, next slide. Okay, number 2, Rehan knows this and he's worked on this a lot, which is great. Ads will amplify whatever exists, okay? It's never gonna fix your business problems, okay, or fix any weaknesses that you have. So to give you an example, if you have bad salespeople, okay, or if you have, you know, no content and you just have sort of an old website, some stock photos on social, it looks like you're not really active, adding more ad spend behind it is just going to amplify what is already a weakness. And now you're just showcasing your weaknesses, okay? And it's not going to give you a positive return on investment. You're burning money. If you go to the next slide, I just want to show what we always show clients before we start with them. And that is that ads will thrive in the right ecosystem, okay? And this is sort of your sales and marketing ecosystem. We'll start from the top left. You want to make sure that your website is looking spot on, right? Like you want to be impressed by it when you look at it. It's the first thing that people will base their impression off of you on. They are going to Google you and search you after they've seen your ad. So it shouldn't look like it was made in the early 90s. Your sales team, especially for B2B, I mean, this is key. You need dedicated salespeople, right, who are incentivized the right way, who are really good at nurturing, at building relationships. They're charismatic. They know how to handle objections. They have scripts and objection handling down. They have a good CRM. They respond fast. I would say without your sales team in a very strong place, there's no point spending money on lead gen, because you can have the greatest leads, but if there's no good follow through, then again, you're not going to get the sales. Third thing, the top right hand, now this doesn't need to be perfect, guys. It's just you want to try and continuously improve this and have some foundation in place. People are going to research you online. Okay, so are they going to see that you have a Google My Business profile with some positive reviews on it? Are they going to see some content about the team and the founder? Are they going to see that your social media is active? Because there's many B2B clients that we work with they've started out with referrals and word of mouth so much that they never bothered with this stuff. And then you go to their social media and it's like one Eid Mubarak post from like 2 years ago and a cheesy stock guy with a laptop that says, we do accounting. So please make sure you work on that a bit before you pour some money into ads. And then the last thing, again, have some basic element of this in place at least. Some type of automated nurture. This depends on the scale of your business too. When you're scaling up, you want to automate some things. So you want to make sure you have some emails going out, some email marketing drip sequence, maybe some WhatsApp follow-ups, any free tools or resources or calculators that you can offer, as well as lead magnets. So don't be overwhelmed by all of this, but just know that all of these things will affect the success of your ads. All right, we can do the next slide.
Just a quick question. So
yeah.
CRMs, what is there any specific softwares or any specific platforms that you recommend?
It really depends on, your business and what works for you and what you already have. It's just a matter of keeping it updated, and whatever your team is using and can integrate with it. We have people using Zoho. We have people using Pipedrive, I think is a really good one as well, that many people use in B2B.
Yeah. What about HubSpot? Have you had experience of
HubSpot? And HubSpot. Yes, but I think as long as your team is well versed in managing HubSpot, because it can be a lot. I find it's very good for like enterprises, and sometimes you need like a little knowledge academy just to learn how to use HubSpot properly. Yeah. So if your team is well trained on HubSpot, yes, absolutely. I think for anyone who's just starting out and wants something a bit easier, I find Pipedrive to actually be the easiest.
Because HubSpot is like the gold standard when it comes to marketing and leads and sales, right? Because you can integrate everything into HubSpot.
Absolutely. I would say it depends on the scale of your business and if it's necessary or not. Yeah. That's what I would say. Because if you're a smaller boutique firm, do you need all of that? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I mean, yes, it is the gold standard.
Yeah, we use Pipedrive at Alpha.
Yeah.
But we are, for Taxa, we're thinking of which CRM to use as we scale up.
Yeah.
Obviously, the obvious candidate is HubSpot, right? Because it's very, it integrates with everything, and it also integrates with marketing as well as your leads and your sales as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As long as your team is well trained, I'd say to use it and understands it and is upskilling on it, then it's fine. Yeah. Cool. All right. Point number 3, guys, sounds, a little woo-woo, but I'd say your mindset matters, because actually it's not even woo-woo. I'd say like, this is actually key. As with anything in life, right? If you are going after something based on price, okay, who is the cheapest and who is making me these promises of super fast results, you're probably going to be disappointed and you're going to hop around person to person. I've done this in the past with accountants and learned my lesson too, right? Who's cheap when I'm starting out. And then you realize, like, my books are a mess. Okay, like you're just going to be undoing a lot of work and wasting your money even more. Please don't go after people who will make you crazy promises. Trust me, B2B it's not easy. It's much harder than B2C, okay, when it comes to ads and closing deals. So someone cannot make you these crazy promises. You want to focus on just finding someone who is the right partner for you, right? Who understands your business, your strategy, your long-term vision. And you as the business owner need to be focused on iterative improvements. Like, am I making progress with my marketing? Am I better than I was before? Is my lead gen, is my lead quality improving? Am I headed in the right direction? And marketing is something that always needs to be on. And I'm surprised that I have to say this a lot to people. They often think, let's just launch a campaign and then we'll turn it off. And then maybe 6 months later, I'll turn a campaign on again. We don't turn our accounting on and off. We don't turn our ops on and off. You don't turn HR on and off. Okay, marketing is ongoing. Ads, you can scale up and scale down. But I would say always have this continuous lead gen and awareness happening for the best results. You can go to the next slide.
I think that's a very interesting point that you made.
Yeah.
In a sense that you should always keep your ads on.
Yeah.
Because right now, I guess a lot of accountants are probably getting leads without. They're getting leads right now because it's tax season, right?
Yeah.
So when it's really busy, what would you advise accountants? Like right now, let's say I'm an accountant and I'm getting leads from all over the place. My knee-jerk reaction would be to switch off marketing. But what would be the long-term effects on that? And when I'm busy, what would you advise the accountant to do?
You can scale down your budget. Like, it always depends on your capacity to handle leads, right? If the lead volume is so high that you can't handle it and you're going to end up doing a bad job, scale it down. Or you can turn off lead gen if you'd like for a bit and just have at least awareness or engagement ads or something else running, just so that you're still top of mind. Now, the second thing that I want to add is pretty much, I'd say like 70% of clients or someone who comes to us is before it's crunch time, when I say it's already too late. If you're coming in September and saying, oh my God, I need leads for corporate tax, that's already far too late, because what you should have been doing is getting people to know, like, and trust you from earlier in the year if they built a relationship with you online. If they had been seeing your business, let's say from from March, and you've been providing value, they've been seeing your videos, they've been downloading your tools, you are the no-brainer choice then in September. But if they only hear of you for the first time in September, well, it's going to be harder to then convince them. That's why I say just start way back when. This comes even for, let's say, other industries when it's Black Friday sales or, Christmas season, crunch time, Q4. I'm like, don't come to me in Q4. You should come in Q2 to start preparing. So yeah, that's my advice.
And the reason why you need that time is because
to have sorry?
Marketing is a moving target, and you're constantly looking at ways where you can find optimization, and that's why it takes time to kind of find the right optimization before you kind of get results.
100%. You need to do a lot of split testing, experimentation to figure out what works. And sometimes your sales team needs time too to understand the mindset and what works with cold leads coming from ads. It's not the same as warm leads and referrals. If you've only been getting referrals, you're like, oh yeah, my conversion rate is like 70, 80%. And you're really proud of yourself. That's because it's coming from like if I get a lead from you, it's going to be much easier to close than someone who just saw me off of a Facebook ad. I have to build and nurture and maybe try different things in my approach to close those deals. So everyone needs time to adjust and learn. Yeah.
And I think the one I think marketers are guilty of that. They say you need 3-4 months to get things started, but the entrepreneurs like, why do I need 3 months? I want to get started straight away. And I think they don't do a good job of explaining the why. They say I need this much time, but they don't say why. And it's difficult for entrepreneurs to understand that.
It's a very tricky balance. It's hard because people, obviously, as a business owner, you want results ASAP. And the thing is, there will be agencies that are going to promise you much faster results. And you're like, well, this guy's promising me 10x in a month. And you're like, where did they get those numbers? How is that going to happen? But they're like, but this guy's promising me more and for a cheaper price. So I'm going to go with it. So it's hard for you as a agency owner who's trying to do things the right way to not fall into that trap. You kind of have to hold your ground and say, could happen, but realistically, you need to be in this for the long term, and it will take 3 months, especially if you're doing it for the first time. Businesses who've been running ads before and you have benchmarks, of course, we dive in and, it's faster results. It could be like sometimes 1.5 to 2 months. But if you're new to it, minimum 3 months. Yeah. All right, cool. We can do next slide. Okay, spoke to this briefly, guys. So you have B2C ads and B2B. We work with both kinds. B2C, of course, is much easier to close the deal. I operate a gym. I run like a trial session ad. Someone comes in, cool. It's not a huge commitment, right? It's easier to close those. B2B is a much long-term partnership and commitment. It usually relies on like a relationship as well. So it is harder to close, so be ready for that. But that just means you need to have exceptional sales and lead nurturing in place. And what's going to help you warm up the lead online before they talk to you is by building your brand trust and equity. So I actually think Rehan is doing a great job of this right now with Taxstar by doing these webinars, because if he talks to any business owner about onboarding Taxstar, they're not like, yeah, who are you? Rehan, sell yourself to me. Instead, they're going to be like, hey, man, I've been watching your content for the last year. And they already feel like they know you. And that meeting then becomes so much easier. So don't shrug off doing, content marketing just because it's not bringing in immediate ROI. It's going to help you close deals much faster later on. So yeah, definitely want to do that. We can do the next slide. Basic thing, I've audited so many accounts. I feel really bad. Sometimes people are running ads and the tracking is just not ideal. So just make sure you have your pixels installed for each platform. So you'll need a separate one for Meta, for Google, for LinkedIn. And you need a specific one for tracking when a lead submission happens. So just make sure that is intact, or just have someone verify it. Even if it's like a freelancer online, just get that verified. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Finally, diving into the ads part. I told you I tend to go a bit longer with my webinars. Okay, Google Ads. I'm not here to give you guys a super 101. That will take some time, but I want to give you key insights that you can keep in mind when you are working with your marketer or your freelancer or whoever it is. So first and foremost, this is what I'm talking about. If anyone is not familiar, Google search ads, you type something in like accounting firm near me, corporate tax firm in Dubai, and then you have these results pop up and they say sponsored at the top so that you know it's an ad. The way that they work is you as the advertiser are essentially targeting a bunch of keywords, and you say, hey, when someone types in something similar to these keywords, trigger my ads. And with Google Ads, you are paying per click. Okay, if someone sees it and they don't click, you are not charged. You are only charged when someone is paying for it. Can you go to the next slide? Now, here's my take. Okay, having worked with accounting firms and B2B, B2Bs in general. As you can see here, look at that slide for a second, and even some of the ads that we saw on the previous slide, there's a couple of things you're going to notice. Number one is that there's a lot of established firms on there, which means that they are big spenders, okay? And you are competing with those people with huge budgets, like 𝗪𝗁𝗀𝘂𝘁. okay? There's a lot of strong offers in there. A free consultation, if you're offering it, don't feel like it's something special. Pretty much everyone is offering a free consultation in the space. There are free tools, like you can see here, there's a business cost calculator that 𝗪𝗁𝗀𝘂𝘁𝘂𝘁 is offering, for example. And there are many low starting prices. It says here, starting from 312 dirhams, corporate tax filing. I think even on the previous page, it was like a starting from 399, 400. We know that there's a lot of price competition in this market, okay? So the reason I'm showing you this is because you have to understand that this is a really saturated space. It's really competitive, and it is very, very hard to stand out, okay? Everyone's gonna have free stuff, good offers, discounts, like you can see 50% off zero. So Google is not as easy, maybe as it used to be. And I would say accounting firms have it harder than a lot of other industries, okay? You can go to the next slide. Another thing to keep in mind. So as I mentioned, you're selecting keywords, you're gonna target those, right? And the click is essentially has a price. So where you see the red arrow in the corner, I'm in the keyword planner tool in Google Ads Manager here. And you can see that you're able to see what the range is for the clicks. These over here, you can see some of them are like 38 dirhams per click, 33 dirhams per click. These are quite high, okay? Usually, I would want to target keywords that are around 20, 15 dirhams or under at least. Now, if everyone clicking on that ad converted, great, okay? Or after a couple of clicks, someone converted, great, your cost per lead is going to be lower. But the reality is there's so much competition, your cost per click is really high. Your conversion rate is probably going to be like the 2 to 3% or so. That means your cost per acquisition on Google is going to be really, really high, okay? And I just want you to be aware of that because this is just the reality of Google Ads for accounting firms right now. Can you go to the next slide? So this is my recommendation, okay? May not be what you had imagined for Google Ads. For me, it actually falls to the bottom of Meta, LinkedIn, and Google. You would imagine because it's high search intent, these people are looking for this option, it would be the top. But because it is so competitive and is so difficult, I would say you might want to deprioritize it or only go after it if you have really big budgets. So I would expect around a 300 dirham cost per lead. And imagine you're not going to close all of those leads, right? So it might be like 3,000, like 1 in 10, even if you're able to close, great. That's around 3,000 dirhams to acquire that client. But here's some things you can do. Okay, one is I would say build awareness with YouTube ads. That falls under Google Ads Manager. It's underutilized, people are not using it, and it's pretty cheap, okay? Like a couple of fills just to get a view, okay? That's excellent. Focus on less competitive keywords in Keyword Planner. Find where it says low to medium competition and where the cost per click is a bit lower, and try finding that gap there if you are going to test search ads. Make sure you try a unique offer or hook, okay? It's hard, I know, because pretty much everyone's doing discount, free consultation, but see if there's something creative you can do. And lastly, if you are going to run Google Ads, you better make sure you have an exceptional landing page you're taking them to, because that's what's going to wow them over. Usually when people are searching for accounting firms, they're going to open like all the ads and have multiple tabs open, and they're just going to cross-reference. If they're filling in a form for you, they're filling in a form for others too, probably. You want to make sure that you just are exceptional compared to the others. So sorry, this one's a little bit, maybe I'd say a bit more, not pessimistic. I'm trying to be a bit more realist here. But that's my view on Google Ads for accounting firms at the moment. Any questions about this, please feel free to type it in the chat. Rehan, I don't know if you have any questions or on this
no
too.
questions so far.
Yeah, okay.
But story, when I first came to the UAE and I was doing VAT, like Google Ads was just so easy and so cheap. Like probably 10 dirhams per conversion.
Yep.
Now it's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. There's some industries that are just wild over here, unfortunately, like accounting, real estate, super expensive, primary education, super pricey. Yeah, it's just gotten more competitive. All right, next slide. This is a tip, guys. All Google, Meta, and LinkedIn have their own ad libraries, and you can go and see what competitors are doing. Okay, so you can go type in any accounting firm and just check out all the ads they're running if you want to get ideas. So yeah, quick tip. Next slide. Meta ads. Okay. So traditionally or theoretically, as we mentioned before, Google ads will have higher lead quality, right? Someone has that search intent. With Meta ads, they're just being shown the ad. They're not searching for accounting firms at that moment or corporate tax. They're just going about their day looking at like a cat video or something, and then you pop up and your ad has to stop the scroll, and then they have to be engaged enough by what it's saying to click on further. Now, the thing is that you actually have more opportunity over here, okay? Because there are lots of accounting firms running ads. Don't get me wrong. Go on Meta Ad Library, you will see it is full of accounting firms doing ads, but 90% of them are garbage, okay? I'm sorry, maybe we should like blur out the names over here, but you can look at them, okay? They're really cheesy stock images, okay? I would scroll past these, and it's doing the bare minimum where even if you click on the ad, it's just going to a WhatsApp. It's not going to a landing page. There's no great video or creative. They're all kind of just saying, here's our price, here's our services, feature, feature, feature. So this is where I think you have a unique opportunity. And I think where we were generating the majority of leads before for you too, Rehan, for Alpha Pro, it was from Meta ads because he was great and he went and shot some videos. So there's less competition here, which means the cost is cheaper for your cost per lead, okay? You have lower CPMs, which is the cost per 1,000 impressions. Okay, that's what you're charged based on how many times your ad is shown. So way more opportunity here. But do keep in mind, yes, they will be lower intent leads. They just need a bit more nurturing, okay? They're going to be a little bit harder to close, but a lot of volume, which is great for building your database too. You can do the next slide. A way to improve lead quality, guys, if you are not familiar, in Meta ads, there's something called lookalike audiences and custom audiences. A custom audience is essentially someone who's already interacted with you, and you can just upload, let's say, like a paying customers list. So if you have like your CRM of all your active clients, you can upload it and then say, now create a lookalike audience, Meta, based off of my custom audience. So it will find you people who are similar to your paying customers. And that means that your ad is not just being shot off, blindly in the dark to a big, broad audience. It's people who are probably higher quality and have, higher income or the right type of people, the right type of business owners, etc. So yeah, try that out. Just a tip, 1% lookalike is higher quality. And then if you slide that scale along, you get a bigger audience, but it becomes a little bit less specific. It becomes broader and slightly lower quality, but you just have to toggle and figure out what's working for you. If we can do the next slide. So guys, look, my recommendation is there's a lot of opportunity here in Meta. I'd say definitely split test it. You want to try it out. I would imagine around a 75 dirhams to 150 dirham cost per lead. Okay, depends on what your offer is too. The better your offer is, the lower your cost per lead is going to be. Okay, if you are running ads on Meta, do not bother if you're only going to do image ads. Please do video ads. You guys all know we're all just doom scrolling on Reels these days, so Reels is what people are watching. Do Reels. And tag those people in your email database and keep nurturing them over time, okay? And maybe send them free tools and resources. And yeah, as Rehan said before, you want to test different styles, call to actions, hooks, and see what's working best for you. And yeah, this is just a Meta ads library. It's fun to see. There's some people doing some great ads, and then there's some that are very bad. So you can go see the range that's out there. Okay, next slide. Okay, LinkedIn ads. Currently what I'm really liking. There's different types of LinkedIn ads, guys. So I'd say the three main types for you as an accounting firm owner would be in-mail ads, which is the messages that you get in your inbox. Number two is going to be feed ads. And I've just separated out the feed ads into two categories because one is more bottom of funnel, which is, hey, book a consultation with us, sign up on our lead form, or, download this free resource. That's technically a bit more higher funnel, but I find that those don't convert as well. The third type, which is what we're doing over here, and how many of you have ended up over here too, is a feed ad that is pushing a webinar or, yeah, some sort of online event. Okay. And the most success that we have seen is with in-mail ads and with feed ads that focus on webinars. Sorry, when I say feed, I just mean this is the stuff in your general feed that you're scrolling that pops up there as like an image or a video. If you can go to the next slide, I think I've mentioned the cost over there between both. Yeah. So right now with in-mail ads, they are much cheaper, okay, than your standard book a consultation with us feed ad, okay? I'd say for Taxstar right now, we're looking at around 120-ish dirhams, okay, cost per lead for in-mail. And for webinar leads, this is why I'm saying it's a huge opportunity. And this is just not Taxstar, this is with other clients. Wherever we have done an online event and you have a good guest speaker, etc., and you're hitting on a pain point that people really want to learn about, expect like a 30 dirham cost per lead. I've seen it go as low as 15 dirhams to upwards maybe around 50, 60 dirhams. Really depends on how engaging your topic is for webinars. But you have to think about the mindset of people on LinkedIn. They're there to upskill and to learn, okay? And it's very low resistance and low commitment for them to just opt into a webinar, and the value they get out of it is, pretty great. So definitely focus on that. If you are going to run ads for webinars, you can do image ads. It's fine, they work. But if you really want to stand out, do a video ad as well. And yeah, then you can follow up with those leads afterwards, after you've built that trust and develop a relationship with them. Any questions over here on LinkedIn?
We've got a few questions at the moment, but we're also running
Okay.
out of time. So I think
We're
should we
wrapping
just
up too. Yeah.
okay? I think let's wrap up and then we just go through
Sure.
and go through a few questions.
Yeah, sorry if I sped through the LinkedIn part, guys. I looked at the time and I saw that it was 38 minutes. Okay, so there's a LinkedIn ads library as well. Okay, just type that into Google, you'll find it. People are doing some really great things. Okay, closing thoughts on my overall recommendation for accounting firms in particular. Next slide. Okay. First and foremost, before you get excited and start throwing money at all these platforms, you need to do some preparation, okay? I would say try a couple different campaigns. One is going to be, let's say, an offer. Like, could it just be a free consult? Is it a first month free? Is it a percentage off of a software? Whatever it is, think about what is feasible for you. Number two, if you can, get someone on your team to make any type of free resource you can give away, okay? Like a cost calculator, I don't know, an ebook, a mini guide, a little mini training series, which is a couple of videos, whatever you can put together, okay? Number three is come up with a webinar topic, just that you can try it out and just see if that's gonna get you leads. Once you have all of that ready, and then you want to prepare the content for it. Okay, so you have those things in place. You say, okay, now let's make video ads for all of those, and let's make a landing page. Don't be too overwhelmed by this. Make one really good landing page, and you just duplicate it and change some details based on what you're promoting. Okay, and then that's your standard template that you're going to use. Number three, people, because it's B2B, people need to know, like, trust you first. Okay, so I would run some awareness or video view campaigns. They are really, really cheap. Okay, video, for a couple of fills, you get like a one view. Okay, so you get to reach thousands and thousands of people, even if it's just 1,000 dirham budget per month. Okay, so that they're just seeing your face and they're getting used to you guys and you're providing value in those videos. Now, in parallel, you are going to run lead gen ads on LinkedIn and Meta. You can do Google, but I just wanted to give you that warning that it's going to be expensive and difficult. So you can try it out. Okay. But do those tests on LinkedIn and Meta. And because you are running those awareness ads, you can retarget people who have already know about you, right? And so you're retargeting at a really low cost and you have a higher likelihood of getting more cheaper leads because they're already warmed up. Okay. In terms of budget, I know that's a question that comes up. You guys are accountants, so your number skills are better than mine. Okay, just work backwards. Allocate budget based on the average cost per lead that I have given you in these slides. So let's say if you're expecting around 30 dirhams cost per lead for a webinar, work backwards and say with 2,000 dirhams, I will probably get about 66 leads for a webinar, so on and so forth. And you can map that out for all three platforms and see how it goes, but give yourself 3 months. And then I'd love to know what your results are after 3 months. Yeah, cool. I think that's it. Can we go to the next slide? Yes, Q&A. Okay.
Cool. So thank you for your insights. I've been to your training sessions as well, and they're always content is very heavy and you learn a lot from it. So just want to say thank you. And we've had a few people, one person who's complimented it. So thank you for that.
Thank you. No worries.
We've got 2 questions online. So there's a gentleman called 𝗁𝗵𝗶𝘀. He's asking, how does this work with management consulting firms as well? So when he means this, it probably means, the paid ads, lead generation. How does it? We've focused on accounting firms, but what about consulting firms?
Sure. So look, usually for B2B, what I say is look at your sales process and then figure out what the step is before the sale that will hook them in, and then push that out in your ad. So I'm going to give an example of me as a marketing agency. What I like to offer someone is usually an audit, right? I know that when I look at someone's ad account, their Google, their Meta, and I tell them, here's what's good, here's what's bad. It's sort of an assessment or analysis, right? If I'll give that away for free, then they know, like, trust me after that hour. They're like, cool, you seem to know what you're doing. Let's give it a shot. So I push the audit as my ad, and then that carries me forward in my sales journey. So for you, I don't know if he's able to respond right now. What is that for him? Does he do some sort of analysis as well?
Probably give him a few.
Yeah,
minutes.
give him a few minutes. But yeah, I would suggest doing that. And in terms of what platform for him, I would assume management consulting is more enterprise level, and that's probably a bit bigger. I don't know that Meta ads would work for that. At least with accounting firms, you're still working with SMEs too. So Meta is probably still a bit more appropriate. You maybe have a gatekeeper, identify who your gatekeeper is, use LinkedIn ads to target that job title of that gatekeeper. I would probably run a webinar to those gatekeepers and in-mail ads to them offering a free assessment or analysis or whatever. Look at Google ads. I don't know how expensive it is for management consulting. If it's, a decent price, go for it.
I think also if you're management consulting, then the expectation is the ticket size is bigger.
Yeah.
And if your ticket size is bigger, then you have to accept the fact that you probably paying more than what we're talking about now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, he's responded. He said yes, pretty much our process too.
Yeah, cool. So do that, and if you can offer some free tool, just get someone into your email database as well. That could be great. Some sort of resource that is useful to them. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool. Oh no, they're saying they have plenty of SME clients, so that means that good. What you're saying is relevant to.
Oh, that's great. Then use Instagram. By the way, Instagram tends to get higher quality than Facebook. We tend to run ads on both anyway, but I'd say Instagram feed ads and Reel tends to be where you get higher quality people.
Cool. Another question from Idris. I think this is a bit of a difficult one, but his question is, hi, Alina, how do you advise optimizing social media presence for Gen AI, ChatGPT, and the like?
Your social media presence for Gen AI.
How do you optimize it? Yeah.
How to optimize that? So sorry, just to clarify, so that you are showing up more in ChatGPT search results. Is that what you're saying for your social
That's
media?
what I'm assuming. Yeah,
That's what you're assuming, right? Yeah, it's interesting because people usually ask me that about SEO and Google Ads. And for that, I usually say because you're asking ChatGPT more questions and it's more conversational, the more of that type of content you have on your website, like more FAQs, like informational, what's it called? More awareness-based questions, more knowledge-based questions. If you have that on your site, you're going to show up more in ChatGPT and you're going to show up more in Google's, what's it called? The AI snippet at the top.
Yeah.
I would assume something similar for maybe for social media. If you start with a question, maybe that is asked a lot more, and it is the title of your video, let's say for YouTube, because YouTube has really good SEO, and I feel like that is underlooked as well. It's kind of like a mini search engine too, and it shows up in GPT. So yeah, if you kind of answer those questions, I think that will help you. If I get a better answer to that too, I'll let you know afterwards. That's a good question.
I mean, you can post it on the comment section on this on this webinar. Another question. This is a difficult one. In the country I work outside of the UAE, the businesses usually do not use emails, do not have websites. Most of them just use Instagram. Even medium-sized businesses, is emails and websites a thing of the past?
Depends on your location, but there is an option for you for Instagram. So you can, it's more about understanding the philosophy. So don't worry about the tool as much, right? The key is how do you automatically nurture these people? So with Instagram, I would look at something like ManyChat. It's a tool. It's quite low cost. And you can set up automations on that as well. So if people do Instagram DM, you know how people have the post where they say, comment accounting below, and I will send you a message. You know, I think everyone has seen that. The way they do that is often with ManyChat or a tool like that. Once someone types something in the comments, then it triggers a DM to be sent with a free resource or tool. So if you have a tool, let's say like I have this cost calculator, DM, write calculator, and I'll send it out, it'll get sent out. And then you can also do chatbot flows, which pre-qualify people. Be like, hey, are you struggling with your accounting right now? Then, you know, they can choose like some option. You know, what's your biggest pain point? Cool. How much revenue are you guys at right now? How many clients are you at? Whatever it is. Do you want to schedule a call here? Book a link below, or like tell us what number to call you at. You can do all of that too with Instagram. So that's fine.
Cool. Well, thanks for that. I think we've gone over now. So just want to say thank you for your time and giving us insights. Thank you everyone who's joined and who has given some really interesting questions. This webinar will be on LinkedIn on our Taxstar page, so you can view it whenever you want afterwards. We'll also have it on YouTube as well. Alina, any final closing thoughts?
Just get started and just make sure that you prioritize building your brand equity and content. I know it's a bit of a long haul, but it's the reality for accounting firms and in the B2B space, but you'll be very thankful you did it afterwards. So yeah, just get going.
And what's the best way so anyone can get in contact?
I can drop my email in the chat if that's okay.
Yep. Or they can DM you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, they can DM me on LinkedIn, or they can email. They can go to our website, digitalina.io. There's a button in there to book a call with me on Calendly as well. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, Rehan. Thank you guys for showing up. All right. Take care.
Care.